All right, gang, let's dive right into it. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday, tips to help grow your online community. I think we're nearing close to episode 100. I think this is 95 or 96, so we're definitely going to hit a milestone here with the webinars, and we're going to try to figure out some type of a virtual party or celebration we can have to celebrate that centennial of 100 webinars. So hopefully you grab a cup of coffee, a bag of popcorn, and we can dive right into this week's Webinar Wednesday. For those of you joining for the first time, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. David, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. This is Webinar Wednesday 95, so we are coming up on 100. Can't believe it. It's all gone by pretty quickly, but we've got another good tip of the week here for you, talking about some good daily tasks that you should be doing when it comes to managing your membership site.
And I always like to mention, if you're not already part of our Facebook group, it's a great way to keep the conversations going in between Webinar Wednesdays. I'm in there, and I know a lot of people on the webinar here participate in that group. So if you're not already a member, please join us. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Just click the join button. It's free to join, and everyone is welcome. And for those of you joining for the first time, welcome. I always like to mention what the format or goals of Webinar Wednesday is. And, we're always pushing new updates and releases to the software. And we'd like to kind of explain how to leverage some of those features to help your community grow a bit faster. So we could talk about some of the new features that can help you increase traffic, convert visitors to members, and I always like to mention my personal favorite is how to improve your website's navigation. I think it's the simplest thing that you can do on your site is giving visitors a clear path to success on how to participate and engage and join your community, and an improved navigation can make not only the visitor experience much better, but it can help you increase your conversion rates and make your life a whole lot easier just knowing that you're providing that good navigation to your users. All right, we have just a small handful of BD Lab updates the last couple weeks. Actually start with the last point there, the strong focus to fix smaller nuances. The dev team has been patching up and fixing up very specific cases that come up with the software that you guys are reporting to the support team. So first and foremost, thank you very much for keeping that dialogue open with our support team when you notice certain things. It's definitely the best and quickest way not only to get assistance troubleshooting issues on your site, but it also alerts our team if something needs to be fixed network-wide in the system. So we're always working on things, and yeah, the last couple weeks there's just been a really strong focus to make things a lot more stable and fix some of those smaller nuances. Shooting on up to the top of the list there. So something new for the existing pay-per-post add-on that we had. When we first released that some months ago, and let me show everyone what this add-on is. I think a lot of people are using it on their site. It allows you to charge your members to post content to the site. So if they want to publish an event or a coupon or any other type of post, you can charge them to do so. Up until now, and because we wanted to get a phase one pushed out quickly again some months ago, you could only enter a whole number like $1, $5, $10 as the cost to pay for a post, to publish a post. With this new update, however, you can now add a decimal point to the price of the post. I know it sounds like a very small thing, but what we had to take into consideration were the different currency formats. Some countries use commas, or there's different character spaces between what the decimals are and what the thousands are and things like that. So just to show you a quick example of what that looks like, if you are using the pay-per-post feature, you can now put, for example, $1.99 and something similar to do the pay-per-post pricing. And just to show you also where you would set the price when you are using the pay-per-post feature, when this add-on is enabled on your site, you can go to membership plans, and then you can go ahead and edit one of your membership plans. And under post publishing, these are the privileges and restrictions your members have for publishing content on your site. Here in this example, we have classifieds, and I set the price to $1.99. Again, before you could only enter a whole number like 10 or 25, but now you can actually enter decimals. So small quality of life update there, and those decimals do help make the price a bit more appealing. You know, that 99 cents or 97 cents, you know, it has a psychological effect on people. That's why they do it in stores. This next one, it's really big. I know a lot of people have staff that they work with or developers from the BD marketplace or other sources. And up until now, if you wanted to invite an admin to your site, there was no way. And you'd have to kind of create just a dummy email or a spoof email for them to join in on your site, and it wasn't the most efficient thing. So I want to show you how this works, but now you can easily invite admins to help work on your site, whether they're already in the BD network with an existing username and password to log into a BD site, or if you're inviting them to the BD network for the first time to come work on your site with you. So with this one, you can go to your settings and go to admin accounts. And now in the top right corner, you can manually add an admin to your site. So if you know you're not necessarily inviting people to come collaborate on your site with you, you can manually add them here. But if you want to send them an email and invite them to collaborate, they'll get the email. They have to click to accept it. You can certainly do that now. So what you want to do is click on Invite Admin. And what's really nice is, you know, you would just put their email in, like events@brilliantdirectories.com. You can choose their admin role. So you can, right here, you can set what kind of access they'll have on your site. So maybe they're a developer, member manager, and that's essentially in effect going to give them access to some of the links in the sidebar of your site. So maybe they don't need to see all the finances of your site and things like that. And that's what some of these different roles offer. So let's say you wanted to give them full access, and you can invite up to 5 at a time. Just put their email addresses and set the different roles that they'll have. And then you can just fire off the send invite email. And just for security, that invite email has a link in it. Let me show you what that looks like. It would look like something like this. You've been invited to collaborate, and then it would say the website name here. In this case, it's just my new website. And it'd say, you know, the person who invited you to collaborate on the site, and they can click to accept the invitation. Now, what's really good is this link is only valid, I believe, for 24 hours. So if they don't accept the invitation, just for your site security, the link will just stop working. But if they click this link, it'll add them to your site with the admin role that you, the permissions that you assigned to them here. So that's available now. If you're working with a developer, that would probably be the best way. Get their email address and just invite them to your site with the respective admin role that you'd like to assign to them. Okay. This next one, it's hard to show you an example, but when your members are signing up to your site and maybe they put an incorrect credit card number or expiration date, it would be a failed sign up, which is fine. They'd get an alert saying, you know, this payment couldn't be processed, please try again. What was happening before, it was clearing all the input fields. So they'd have to start all over with their username and password and put all their credit card information again. Now it will retain the information that was inputted in those fields. So all they have to do is fix the credit card information. So this should, again, quality of life for your members, probably make things a lot less annoying just in case they put an extra digit or an incorrect digit in. But now it will retain the information and just ask them to try again with a new credit card or just to edit the credit card information. Those are just a snapshot of some of the things that were pushed in the last couple weeks. We do have some awesome things that are coming soon. A few of these I can show you examples of. When you're creating landing pages or editing your web pages, we are introducing the ability to drag some pre-made content blocks. So you don't have to code everything from scratch. I can show you a quick example of the direction we're headed at with that. So if you're editing a web page, so you can go to edit web pages in the content section, and I think I have a sample page here. Yep, this thank you page, so we can edit this. This should be empty to start. Probably we're a couple weeks away from this, but you're going to have this tab here called Draggable Content Blocks, and we're probably all very familiar. It's pretty intuitive what this is going to do is. And it's just going to be very basic stuff we're going to offer. For example, text with an image on the right, text with an image on the left, you know, a feature list of content, you know, 3, for an FAQ module. We'll be adding just a few more common things that people are looking for, but what you'll be able to do with these draggable content blocks is just drag them into the editor here, and it's basically going to have some default text and images that, of course, you can go ahead and replace and modify to your needs. And what's really cool is you just drag these in here. I'll just drag this one up here. So we're looking to launch with a handful of blocks, most common ones that people would probably get the most use out of. And again, this could help you more rapidly in creating some of your basic landing pages that you're creating for your website. After this gets to a good place, we are going to also do a very similar thing when you're creating email templates. So you can create a new email template. I don't have an example of it here, but you'll have some pre-made content blocks that you could select from into the email template editor here. This is a demo site that we play with for our developers, so that's why we're seeing some errors here. But draggable content blocks coming soon to a webinar near you. This one we also mentioned being able to include images with reviews. This will be an add-on, and what's really cool is you can choose which membership levels will be able to accept images when people are leaving reviews for them. It's halfway developed right now. Again, we're about a few weeks away from this one. I can show you what we've kind of got so far. So again, this is a developer site we're working on, but if you come to write a review, so this is the title, this is the review, and you can certainly do the star ratings, and we'll go ahead and submit the review. The workflow is going to be, it's going to be a lot quicker than that, but you can submit your review, and then it's going to ask you if you want to add photos to your review. You can click yes, or you can click no, and it would just finish the process. If you do click yes, you'll be prompted to add images from your phone or from your computer. It'll be up to 5 images per review. And then again, this is kind of halfway completed now, but looking forward to this. Then you can click to complete your review submission, and it will include images with your review. So I know a lot of sites, local business sites, especially ones with restaurants, people love taking pictures of their food, whether it's good or bad. This will, and then obviously the photos will show on the public site the original review as well. So that's coming down the line. The global keyword search, we've talked about this in the last couple of webinars. It's going through its final QA process, so we should be able to launch that hopefully in the next webinar in 2 weeks as well. This one here, easily publish posts from the admin area. This is going to be a huge quality of life update for you and your staff who are working in the admin area of the site. I understand first timers to Brilliant Directories, it's hard to wrap your head around that. If you want to publish a blog article, you need to log in as a member. And that's like, I think once you figure that out, a lot of things click into place. But what we're doing with this is you'll be able to easily publish posts from the admin area, which should simplify that logic in the process. I can show you an example of what that's going to look like. So you would start in your dashboard area, and you can go to Manage Posts, and it's not there right now. It's still being developed, not too far away from it. You'll have this Publish New Post button, and when you get it, because there's different post types, and the member who's publishing it has to have the privilege to publish that post type, like whatever it might be. You get a pop-up. It's going to be something like this. It's going to ask you, what do you want to publish? And you could select from your post types, like a coupon or product. Let's say it's a website blog article. Then you can select which member will be the author of this. And you just type in, you could type in a member ID, an email, or the member's name, and then you can just click yes, continue, and it will log you into that member's dashboard, so then you can continue publishing that type of post. So seeing that here and with this workflow should make things a whole lot easier. I understand it's not too intuitive going to search members and then logging into a member, especially if you're a first timer. So that's coming soon, and hopefully everyone will be publishing more posts with that workflow. And then, as I mentioned before, this one got little bit delayed, just some nuances in the QA department got sent back a couple times, but being able to select your smart list when scheduling newsletters, that's going to be a huge one. You could do more targeted newsletters to different member segments that you create with the smart lists tool. So lots to look forward to. Let me see here. Maybe you have a question about some of these recent updates or something coming soon. We could take a question or two before we go into the tip of the week here.
We did get a couple questions asking what the difference is between the upcoming global keyword search add-on and the existing expanded keyword search add-on.
Gotcha. So the expanded keyword search, and this is actually going to be called global website search. So I actually mistyped that there. The expanded keyword search add-on is by default when you're doing like a member keyword search, it's going to, let's say I type in Jason, it's going to look for my first name or last name or company name that matches Jason. With the expanded search, you have the option to, I believe, also search, and I think we can look at an example right here. Let's look at the settings together. Basically, with the expanded keyword searches, you're opening up more data that you want to be included and for the keyword search. So let's go down here, additional settings. I think this should have it here, keyword search options. So without the expanded keyword search, you would just have these two options: search the title only, or like the member's first name. Let's use a post as an example, like a blog article. It would only search the title. You can choose the title or the content description, or if you're adding custom fields, like let's say I had a talent agency directory and I added like hair color and eye color, you could search for red as an example, and it would search all the metadata. With the global keyword searches, it's going to search all your content types, all your post types. So with one keyword search field, you can search a keyword in your classifieds, coupons, members, and you're going to see all the results for all post types. Right now with the search modules, it's one search module searches one post type. So with the global website search, you're going to enter one keyword. It's going to find all the content on your site that matches that. This one here, the expanded keyword search, is more of what it is. It's expanding the metadata that's going to be included in a search term. The global website search is going to search all post types and members for that specific keyword that's you're looking to search for. I think once it's released, we can show an example. And actually what we can do is we could play with both options, showing the global website search and the expanded keyword search, and how you can actually present your visitors with more results with the available settings that we have now for modifying your search. Because there are ways within the BD platform to have what we call strict search. So it's actually very limited in what the visitor sees, which is good in a way because they're really getting hyper-focused results. Or you can have more inclusive searches that are a little bit more relaxed and broad as to the information and the results that they're presenting to you based on a keyword search. So I think we'll tackle that once we release the add-on, and we can show some examples of how it works, David.
Excellent.
If that wasn't enough of a confusing explanation. I think when you can see live examples, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I think to summarize basically the existing add-on, expanded keyword search, it just allows for a broader net for when you're conducting a search for an individual post type or a member, whereas the upcoming global website search add-on will kind of put everything within a single search, and you'll kind of get all the results that are available on the site, regardless of post type or member or anything like that.
Yeah. That is a good explanation. And I think when we can see this example on some live websites, once it's released, we'll get a better sense of the value of this overall. And what's really cool is the benefit that I see is it's going to provide visitors with more search results when they do conduct their searches, and that's going to keep them clicking around your site a whole lot longer and discovering new content in addition what they were really looking for. So they're going to be able to explore sites a lot better and create that better user experience for the visitors. But we'll use that to segue to the tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is 5 daily tasks for membership website owners. David, you've done a great job putting together this checklist, essentially, of really, I think, actionable and easy things that everyone who owns a membership website should and could be doing on a daily basis to help tick the needle on traction and visibility and engagement for membership, online membership community. So if it's okay with you, David, I'd like to pass it over, and you can kind of take us through these 5 daily tasks.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a relatively common question that we get asked. Is there's a lot of moving parts for most membership websites, and so website owners, they tend to ask us, what are the things that I should be focusing on daily or weekly with all these different moving parts? What are the most important aspects? That can be kind of difficult to answer when membership and directory sites can be so diverse. So instead, this daily or weekly checklist will kind of focus more on the generic daily tasks that you can be doing that will help to cultivate member engagement, participation, and help keep you top of mind with your existing members, and then also stay relevant with your prospective members, people who are just now finding your site and who you'll want to bring into your community. Here are the 5 that we'll be going over in this short little presentation. They are relatively simple, and so these are some of those more minor, you might think of them as mundane daily tasks that at first glance might not seem like they'll really pay off all that much, but if you do them consistently, they will compound and they can end up making quite a big difference in not necessarily just the website growth, the community growth as a whole, but also how much value your members are getting out of your community and your membership website. And so that can increase your members' lifetime value. So the 5 that we'll be going over are to respond to member inquiries, document their feedback and any observations that you might see on your website or elsewhere within your community, find relevant things to post on your social platforms that can engage your members, start discussions and also reply to existing discussions within your community, and then also to mainly stay top of mind. So we'll dive into these, responding to member inquiries. So the thing here is customer support is by and large the most important aspect of any business. And when you're managing a membership site, it's important to think about it as a business. I know it's a lot different than maybe a business you might be thinking of, like a brick and mortar store or a retail site, but a membership website is still a business. And so we have to take into account the customer support aspect of that. And that single aspect can really make or break your business. So we want to strive to provide the absolute best customer support that we possibly can. We've talked about this a lot in many of our previous webinars. Positive member experience will be one of the most important aspects that you can deliver to your members. And then also people who are just inquiring about your website who aren't yet members. Giving them attention from the onset might help push them across that finish line into becoming a member eventually. And so even though customer support does require some sort of time investment on your part, or if you have any team members or coworkers or anything like that, it will require a little bit of time investment, but it typically won't require that much effort. Customer support is typically a relatively easy task to take on, especially if you don't really overthink it. The main thing is just to provide the best experience that you possibly can for your member. If you need to give them something for free, maybe a month's worth of membership for free if they had a bad experience or something like that, just make it easy for them to contact you, easy for them to express any concerns that they have, and then take care of them the best you can, and that will really go a long way.
And some ways to encourage people to submit inquiries in the first place is making it easy for them to contact you. So a few ways that we've talked about in previous webinars. You may or may not want to have a phone number on your site, but if you can support incoming phone calls from members or prospective members to answer questions, that's one way. The simple contact us form that comes with every BD website, making that link available for people to access. And maybe you don't want to just call it the standard contact us. Maybe you say have questions about becoming a member, contact us here. Something a little bit more proactive than the default contact us. Another thing is having a live chat on your website. Now that one's sometimes a bit more difficult, especially for smaller teams, because you're not online 24/7 to respond to those live chat messages. But the good thing is a lot of these live chat solutions, they do allow people to leave you a message when you're not manning the live chat station. So it is another, just like your contact us form, it is a great way to have incoming inquiries from members or prospective members, having that live chat tool. And then also we'll talk about maintaining like a strong social media presence, but making people know that you are manning your, your Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever you're using for social media, and letting them know that they can reach out to you through those channels. You can send messages on Facebook, for example, through a couple different channels that they offer. So make it easy for your members to contact you. And the most important thing is, especially for prospective members who might have questions, if you're not getting inquiries from prospective members, you might need to revisit your talking points on your website. Maybe you're not piquing enough interest from prospective members, and you want to recalibrate the benefits and what people can expect from your community and the way you're presenting that on your website, because your website really should work to pique interest of prospective members. And of course, prospective members will definitely have a question or two. So that's something to consider. If you're not getting inquiries, you might want to revisit your About Us page, your mission page, and your benefits pages, because you definitely want to be piquing some interest, and people who are interested may have a question or two.
The second task, and again, as we're going through all these 5 daily tasks, depending on your site and your community, you may not need to do these every day, maybe once a week. So that would be something to just keep in the back of your mind as we're going through all these tasks. You don't need to do them necessarily every day. So number 2, documenting feedback and observations. Another element that we've discussed a lot in previous webinars is that these membership websites, regardless of the niche or the target demo that you're serving, the purpose of them is to act as a solution for whatever problem your members are seeking an answer to. The thing we want to do with this daily task is not just to focus on any negative feedback or suggestions that we're getting from members, but also focus on the positive feedback and the good things that we're doing with the website. We want to shed an equal light on all the feedback that we're getting. And so when we can keep track of the member inquiries that we're getting, whether they're questions, just general feedback, whatever it may be, if we're also keeping an ear to what's going on outside of our website, maybe if you have a Facebook group or if there's a forum somewhere online in the same industry, we're able to focus on all of that and maybe take notes throughout the week as you're seeing different topics pop up. We can revisit that maybe at the end of the week and see if there's any new topics that are popping up that we might want to focus on in the following week. Maybe we want to write an article about a specific topic that a lot of people seem to be talking about for whatever reason in the past few days. We might want to focus on that and try to capitalize on it. But the big thing here is we want to pinpoint the specific wants and needs of our members and the community as a whole if we want to bring in new members and deliver to them based on the observation feedback that we're making and that we're getting. So try to just be aware of what's happening in your community and try to capitalize on those different observations that you might be making.
Yeah, I think when you say community also, that expands to the industry you're serving as a whole. So you want to see trends in the industry, the direction the industry is going in, some turmoil that might be in the industry that you could provide some tips on how to get through those difficult times. And every market is different, but again, as David mentioned, you want to pinpoint specific pain points or wants that your community can get some relief from, and something that you can provide, even if it's a simple, 5 tips blog article or a survey you can launch in a Facebook group or something, just to get some engagement and figure out what next steps you can do to better serve your community based on those observations.
That's exactly right. Doing this will also give us a good idea of what to focus our upcoming content on. And then also we want to focus on the specific language that our members in the community as a whole are using. If we can observe a specific language or like the adjectives, the nouns that they're using, we can then use the same language in our marketing content, on our pricing page, checkout pages, in our testimonials that we're putting throughout the website so that we can better connect with those prospective members. Going on to daily task number 3, find something relevant to share. This is kind of staying top of mind, in check, and aware that you're still out there, you're still relevant. So this could really be anything. You don't necessarily need to be publishing new content every single day. That's a big task to take on, especially if you're kind of a one-person team. So you can find inspirational or related memes online, or if you're just browsing the internet, you might find something that you think your community will like, that you think they'll connect with. You can always share that on your social platforms. If you see any videos or podcasts, maybe there was some news in your target industry over the past week, and somebody else came out with an interview with an influential person in the industry, or they did a podcast covering a certain topic. That would be a great piece of content to share with your community. Even if it's not something you published, you can either link directly to that piece of content, or if it's a video or a podcast or something like that, you could always embed it in a post on your website and then link people to that. So at least that way you're still sending people to your site while using somebody else's content. That would be one option. Blog articles, company news, infographics, or infographics, videos, memes. These forms of content other than text are very easy to be consumed, and they're easy to be consumed quickly. And so those tend to grab people's attention a little bit more than just a blog article. So if you can find those sorts of media to publish and share with your community, those might end up working a little bit better at grabbing their attention and connecting with them than just sharing article after article. Number 4, start and reply to community discussions. So this will typically take place probably off of your website, maybe in a Facebook group that you set up, or maybe a subreddit, although that is more public than a Facebook group, which you can make private and you can really moderate and keep a tight holdover. You can also create a community on Slack or Discord or any of those other kind of applications where you kind of create a private channel. It's more like a chat room. But there's a lot of places where you can form a better community connection off of your website. At the end of the day, you're the leader of your community, and so it comes down to you to take the lead when it comes to participation, whether that's starting conversations, or if somebody posts something in, say, for example, your Facebook group, or if you have a forum somewhere else, and you're not seeing any replies on it, you might want to jump in there. Even if you don't have necessarily anything beneficial to offer, you might want to at least encourage others to post in there, to at least bring it to their attention if maybe they missed it. And this also gives you the opportunity to interact in real time with your members, which does a lot better job at establishing that really important personal connection, which again, we've discussed in previous webinars. It does a lot better job at doing that rather than kind of sharing content with people on your normal social channels and then maybe replying to a few comments here and there, a few hours later. Having that live interaction really makes a big difference. And having these off-site communities for your members to express whether it's concerns, get help, connect with their peers on more of a personal level. These are really things which will help form a stronger community rather than just having a bunch of individual members registered on your site and consuming content. Having them actually connect with one another will really go a long way.
And not only that, so when David says it'll create like a stronger community, some effects that'll have on member retention is you probably have fewer cancellations or reduced cancellations because there is an avenue for people to another avenue for people to reach out when they have concerns. Probably that community is far more helpful than just having a profile on a website because it's an added benefit of their membership being part of that community. And then also prospective members who are not yet active members, they see that they want to be part of that community. Their peers are there. It's a community for them. So it's something for them, prospective members, to look forward to and getting access to once they join your membership. So I know a lot of people have free Facebook groups where prospective members and members can mingle together, but then they also have a separate section like a Slack group or another Facebook group for the premium members who are actually paid subscribers to a community. So kind of the free group is almost like an advertisement for the membership community, and it still allows non-members to get involved and get a taste of the vibe of the community, and then obviously encourages them to join the real community for the real access that paid subscribers receive. So these communities really can help increase member subscribers and also reduce potential cancellations and have better member retention.
All right, and the last daily task, staying top of mind. So you can think of this just overall as a simpler version of task number 3, find something relevant to post. Staying top of mind is really kind of boiling that down. You don't necessarily need to have a specific piece of content that you're going to be sharing with your community on social media. This is just something super simple just to make people aware that you're still out there, even if you haven't shared a piece of content in the last few days. This consistent low-level activity is really what's going to help kind of keep you afloat if maybe you're going on vacation, you don't have a lot of time to dedicate to finding or publishing new content to share. This could be a good way to kind of keep you afloat during those times. But some good ways to do this are just to share normal, kind of everyday, organic activity. So if your target industry is prevalent on Instagram or Facebook, those two platforms have a story feature. It's kind of a temporary post. You can share something on that. You can share just a normal positive message that you've gotten from one of your members, or if they've left a testimonial, or if you've seen that they've said something great about your community somewhere else online. You can take a screenshot of that and share it with your community. If you know that one of your members had some sort of achievement, if you have a community of students and one of them got into a good school or got a scholarship or something like that, you can congratulate them just to shine light on some of those members. Spotlighting active members in your community. This is a tip that we touched on in a lot of our earlier webinars. If you notice that you have a specific member or a handful of members that are either just participating a lot within your community, if you have a business directory or receiving a lot of leads or responding to a lot of leads, you might want to shine a spotlight on them. That will get your other members' attention, and they might want to know what they could be doing differently to get that same sort of attention. So just these simple, smaller things, just to stay relevant, not only for people who are already members, but people who are still in that awareness stage, which we talked about in last week's webinar, in that sales funnel, people who aren't yet members. A lot of times they like to see that there is a person, a personality, a face behind the website itself. That's not just some sort of faceless website that's kind of just managing itself. They like to see that there is a person behind the wheel, kind of steering the ship, if you will.
And also these tips for daily or weekly tasks that we should all be doing. You have your main marketing strategy. You have your lead magnets. You want your driving ads to maybe like an ebook or a webinar you want people to join, or a podcast you want people to listen to. Those are active marketing campaigns that you have for targeting specific people to specific assets that you have, again, such as an ebook. These daily tasks are really to maintain a quality pulse of your company's voice and brand for people who may just be discovering you or may discovered you a long time ago but haven't pulled the trigger yet. So this is really like, if your main marketing campaign are the waves at the top of the ocean, this is what's happening just one level below that, and it's a constant stream of marketing that's going on underneath your main marketing campaigns. And what's really cool is, this stuff is really easy to do to stay, top of mind and relevant, and to maintain a pulse of your brand with some type of a voice. So just keep in mind that you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And if you're just starting out, it's understandable. You don't have a big community. You're not going to get dozens and dozens of likes when you make a post. But if you stick with this and you see small traction, you have to give these things months, not days and not weeks. You have to stick with it for months at a time. Hopefully you'll see really quick growth. But even if it's slow growth and you're consistent with it, and there is a viable market size of people for the industry you're looking to target, your group of followers and subscribers will grow over time. And these daily tasks are just going to support your bigger efforts that you have, and also tick the needle for the number of signups you receive, the number of referrals, people refer their friends to you, and also retention. It'll tick the needle in a positive direction for all those things, just following these daily tasks. And the most important thing here is just staying top of mind and maintaining a pulse for your brand. Because if you're not doing these things, you're making it a lot harder for people to discover you, to stay in touch with you, and to stay top of mind for those people.
I think you touched on an important point, which is, I think, a good one to kind of wrap up this presentation, put a nice bow on it. And that's when you're doing all these seemingly simple, basic daily tasks, you're creating a pulse for your website, and what that does is it makes it easier for you to maintain momentum. It's a lot harder to start driving momentum, but it's a lot easier to maintain it. So this will make it a lot easier for when you do go through maybe any lulls or anything like that. It'll make it easier to at least maintain the momentum and keep moving forward rather than trying to kind of go through a bunch of ebbs and flows.
Well, thank you, David, very much for putting together this presentation. If anything, it's a good reminder of some things to do to keep us busy while we're working on our community. So thank you for that. If you guys have any questions, we'd like to take a few moments for some Q&A here. We can help you on your site. Maybe you have a question about the tip of the week or something we covered earlier in the webinar. So feel free to use the raise your hand feature, and we'll take a couple questions. I see a new name here, Stacy.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. I am absolutely brand new at this.
Okay.
And I'm creating a directory for a city. And I'm wondering if there is a way, I was trying to put in some listings, some members, sort of to seed it. Is there a way to put members in and not include an email address for them?
Yeah, so you can just use a dummy email address like 1234@1234.com or something like that. It'll still create the member record, but the emails won't work for any reason. But if you're just trying to seed the site, like I understand you are, you could just put whatever you want in there, and it'll still create the member record.
Oh, thanks so much.
Okay, good question there. And you can also do that with the import file, Stacy. So if you're going to use the Excel or CSV import tool, you can leave the email address field blank, and it'll just auto assign an email address based on your domain name. So it'll do like the member ID, like 54@yourdomain.com, 55@yourdomain.com. So even if you were importing members, it would work just the same. Okay, got time for another question or two here. Another new name. Great to see Horatio. How are you, Horatio?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, where are you calling in from?
Calling from the border town of Eagle Pass, Texas.
Okay, thanks for joining the webinar.
Thank you. I like this platform, this directory. I've been with a lot of directories before. Started in 2010. I guess one of the things that I'm looking at is that I have a city directory, so I'm able to import. I was able to import all my businesses from the previous websites to this one, and that was fun. But I had a question for you. One was, we have a huge amount of people in our area that are getting COVID-19 symptoms, and a lot of businesses are having special hours and stuff like that. I don't have anything COVID related on our directories that we can offer them, like maybe special hours or COVID-19 updates for their business. Is that something that might be coming in the future that you think?
Well, can we take a look at your site? I think I have, especially during this time with COVID, something that might work well for you. What's the name of your site that we could take a look at real quick?
It's eptx411.com.
So let's just take a look at the front end of your site. I just have like a quick thing that will work right away for you here. So let's say you're going to the search now, right? You do a search. Okay. Okay. So you see this person. I mean, there's something called a short description here. We may want to just utilize this right now. And let me just check something out here. Okay. Yeah. So it'll show this will show either the short description or it will fall back to what's in the about section. What we can do is repurpose that short description. Let me log in as a member on your site. We'll do this person because they don't have anything. And I think I can just log in as this member here. Okay. So under the basic information, you do have a field here called short description. What we can do is we can actually change this, and you can make an announcement to your community to inform them that this field exists. Do you mind if I just do a quick change?
Sure, go ahead.
So we're going to just change this from the text label here for short description to something else. So just use the text label editor here. This should find that. Okay, it's fine. Let me just click on here. Okay. So let's edit this from short description to COVID like, what is this for? Like, it's going to be for them to explain their business hours, or what? If they're what are they going to explain in this section?
It will be just COVID-19 updates.
Okay.
So I guess
Share your COVID-19 updates. Fair enough.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be able to put their lunch hours, new hours, and requirements, and phone numbers if they have different numbers.
Okay. So let me do share your COVID-19 updates. Let me save that. And then let me click, there's help text under here. We could just edit the help text. So
I guess we can put
you can change this later, but I'll just put new hours of operation, etc.
update services, health and safety measures, all of these things that I was thinking of.
So, okay, so if you do this, I'm just going to leave it like this. You can come in here and edit this a bit better. So if we get out of this view now, there we go. So now it says share your COVID-19 updates. You can even change this. Tell us about yourself here. So, you know, we are open, you know, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., whatever it is.
Got it.
Okay, and then what's cool about this area here, and I'll just go ahead and save those changes,
Okay.
is if we go back to the search results, here you can see here we are open Monday 10 a.m. So they can enter some information related to COVID-19 here.
Okay.
You can get deeper into the code and put like COVID-19 alert and things like that. Let's see this here. I'll even do this for you.
Thanks.
You can add padding 10 pixels. We can do background color. Let me just watch this. We can make it like an alert color. Again, just to give you an idea of what you can do.
Okay.
So let me just copy this to your design settings here, just to give it a little more presence. So I'm going to add that to your custom. So these are the rules to make it look like that. Sounds like you're a little savvy here with some of the things you're doing. But I'll just leave it at there. I don't want to do too much more. But now you can tell your members to come back to their contact tab and fill this field in. Share your COVID-19 updates. And this field will be represented on the search results page, which is the most important place for the COVID-19 updates here. They can, as they're browsing businesses, they can see everything in a snapshot here.
Great.
Oh.
That'll work.
Okay, yeah, so there we just repurposed the short description field, and yeah, let us know how it goes. And maybe you want to ask in the Facebook group what other people have done to get their members to share their COVID-19 announcements as well. Get some other
thank you so much.
some ideas. You're welcome, Horatio. Okay, guys. That'll conclude this webinar 95. Thank you so much for joining us. Lots of BD Lab updates on the way. I'll be sure to keep you updated in the Facebook group. And again, if you're not part of our Facebook group, take a minute to join right now. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. It'll redirect you to our Facebook page. And on behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really been a fun webinar. Have a great day and a brilliant week. The next webinar is in 2 weeks, and we will see you guys then. Have a great day. Bye-bye, guys.